Okay, so here I have my internal DTD for my XML here with my poems here. So up here, doc type, and then the root element, which would be poems, and then the element poems, which contains the children poem 1 through 4, and then each poem which all contain author, title, and stanza. Stanza using the plus attribute because stanzas can occur more than one time, as we see in this first poem, for example, that there's multiple stanzas here. And then element, author, title, and then for the stanza element, you have to do line plus, because that's one or more lines, and each poem has multiple lines. And then to validate, I can copy all of this, and so there's a couple of validators I used. One is just this xmlvalidation.com, and you can just paste your XML in here and hit validate. Now, as we can see, no errors were found. Also, the W3C validation. So if I paste that and check here, successfully checked. And I also I made a separate XML for my external, which I named here. And all the XML is obviously the same, with the exception of the doc type to specify that DTD file. So here it's poems, then system, and poems.dtd, which you can see here. And this is essentially the same as my internal, but obviously we're referencing it as a separate file. Now, I found that you can't validate it using this tool because you're essentially referencing two separate files. But what's neat is that for this website, it will allow you to. So what I can do is, if I copy my external code and put that in here, do validate, it then comes up and says the file poems.dtd is being referenced. So basically it captures that XML, and then what you can do is, if I copy my DTD and paste that in here, it'll tie it in with the XML that I just entered for validation. Then if I click continue validation, it takes both of those files and then compares them to make sure that they're well formed and valid.